This is the framed pearl drops necklace we're going to make, and hangs really nicely, makes a nice short necklace. It's made in 2 rows. So let's talk about the materials you're going to need. For this necklace, you're going to need 6mm and 4mm round beads or pearls. Here I have 18 6mm and I have 37 4mm. So basically you need twice as many 4mm as 6mm plus 1. So if you wanted to make a longer necklace, you could say use 20 6mm and 41 4mm. You're also going to need super duos and 15-0 seed beads and 11-0 Toho seed beads of the same color. And for this tutorial, you're also going to need a 6 or 8 seed bead and some jump rings and a clasp. The diagram on the website shows you how you can sew the clasp right in and use a beaded loop to hook it to directly. So in the diagram you don't need the jump rings or the 6 or 8 seed beads. But lately I've been making them with these so that it's possible to change out the clasp if it breaks or tarnishes or corrodes. And so that's kind of a new thing I'm doing. But the diagram will show you an alternate way to make the clasp without using these. So let's get started. Before we begin, I just want to say that when working with super duos, it's usually a good idea to check both holes before you string it on. So I don't always show that. I'm doing it off screen, so I just wanted to mention that before we start. I'm going to start with a super duo, 11-0, 6 or 8 seed bead, and 2 11-0s. And then I'm going to string that on. And I'm going to go back through that to form a loop. Okay, and then I'll tie a knot. Okay. Now I'm going to go back through this super duo. I'm going to string on a 15, a 4mm, a 15, and a super duo and 2 11-0s. So I'm going to string that on. Then I'm going to go back through the other hole of the super duo I just put on, the last one. Then I'm going to put on a super duo. And go through the other super duo's second hole. Then I'm going to put on one 11-0. And I'm going to go through this 11-0. And then I'm going to go through the top of that top of the super duo, and I want to follow it all the way around the top. So through the 15, the 4, the 15, the super duo. So I'm coming out the super duo now. So here I've put on a 15, a super duo, a 15, 4mm and a 15, super duo, and 2 11-0s. So I'm going to go string that on. and go through the other hole of the last super duo I put on. And then I'm going to put on a super duo and go through the other hole of the other super duo. Then I'm going to put on one 11-0 and I'm going to go through this 11-0. It's already there. And then I'm going to go back through the top and come out this super duo. Starting with the super duo. All right, let's do that again. Super duo, 15, 4mm, 15, super duo, 2 11-0s. You do this enough times that you kind of just memorize it. Go through the other hole of the last super duo I just added. Put on a super duo. Go through the bottom hole of this super duo. Okay. So now I'm going to put on one 11-0. Go through this 11-0. And through the top here, the super duo, the 15, .4mm 15 and super duo. So I'm coming out the super duo. You'll be continuing this through the length of the necklace. We'll do it one more time. I'm going to put a 15, super duo, 15, 4mm, 15, super duo, and 2 11-0s. Here I have my 15, my super duo, 15, 4mm, 15, super duo, and 2 11-0s. String that on. Go through the other hole of the last super duo. Put on a super duo. Sometimes this flips around and you just flip it to where they're all facing the same way. Put on an 11-0. Go through this 11-0. And through the super duo 15, 4mm, 15, and super, so I'm coming out the super duo. Follow it along the top there. And I'm coming out the super duo now. So we'll continue this through the length of the necklace and then we'll start the second row. Okay, so that was the last component of the first row and my necklace is now about 16 inches long. And so with the clasp it'll be about 16.5. So here is where I'm gonna put on the bead that the jump ring will go through for the other side. So I'm gonna go up. I'm coming out of this super duo, but I'm going to go up through this 11-0. I'm going to put on an 11-0, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and 11-0. And then I'm going to go through the super duo. And then I'm going to go back down through these two 11-0s. I'm going to put on 2 more 11-0s. And I'm going to go through the bottom of this super duo. Now I am ready to start my second row. So I'm going to flip this over. And we'll start in the second row. Starting the second row, I'm going to put on 9 seed beads and a super duo. String that on. Then I'm going to put on 12 seed beads and a 6mm. So there I have 12 11-0s and a 6mm. I'll string that on. Now I want to go back through 6 of these seed beads, but not through the 6mm. And when I pull that tight, it kind of starts to frame that 6mm. I'm going to put 6 more 11-0s on. I've got 6 11-0s on, and I'm going to go up through the other hole of the super duo. Then I'm going to put on 4 11-0s and 4 15s. And I'm going to go through the bottom of this super duo. And put 4 more 15s on. String those on. After I've put my 4 15s on, I want to go through the last 4 before the super duo and going down through those. So going through 4 before the super duo, and then just keep continuing that all around. And after I've gone through the super duo, I want to go through those 4 11-0s. Above the super duo. Now I want to put 5 11-0s on and go through the tip of this super duo. Okay, so let's keep repeating that. We put on 9 in a super duo, string that on, put on 12 and a 6 millimeter, 11 seed beads and a 6 millimeter, 12 more seed beads and a 6 millimeter, string that on. I'm going to go through the last 6 in the same direction, but not the 6 millimeter. And put on 6 more 11-ohs. And I'm going to go through the other hole of the super duo. Now I want to put on 4 11-ohs and 4 15s. So I've got 4 11-ohs and 4 15s. I want to go through the tip of the next super duo. And I want to put on 4 15s. And I want to go down through the last 4 11-ohs here. And then through the super duo and all the way back around. Continue it all around. And I want to go through 4 of these 11-ohs as I'm coming around. Then I'm going to put on 5 11-ohs. 5 11-ohs to finish off the component going through the tip of this super duo. Let's do a couple more just to make sure we've got it. We're going to start with 9 11-ohs and a super duo. 9 11-ohs and a super duo, and string that on. String on 12 11-ohs and a 6 millimeter. Got 12 and a 6 millimeter. String that on. And then I'm going to go back up through 6 of these seed beads, but not through the 6 millimeter. Put on 6 more 11-ohs. Six 11-ohs, and we'll go through the other hole of the super duo. Then I'm going to put on 4 11-ohs and 4 15s. 4 11-ohs and 4 15s. And I'm going to go through the tip of this super duo. And I want to put on 4 15s. I want to go down through 4 of these 11-ohs before the super duo, and then just continue that around. And after the super duo, I want to go through 4 of the 11 O's. Then I finish off that component with 5 more 11 O's, going through the next tip of the super duo. I'm going to do one more just to kind of keep the pattern going. So I've put on 9 11 O's in a super duo, string that on. Then string on 12 11 O's in a 6mm. 12 11 O's and a 6mm, and I'll string those on. Then I want to go through, back through the six of these 11 O's, but not the 6mm. Put 6 more 11 O's on. Six more 11 O's, and then go through the other hole of the super duo. Now I want to put on 4 11 O's and 4 15s. Put on 4 11 O's and 4 15s. Now I want to go through the tip of this super duo. Put on 4 more 15s. And I want to go down through 4 of these 11 O's that are before the super duo. Then through the super duo and continue it around. And as I'm coming around, I want to go through 4 11 O's after the super duo. And I'll finish that component, that drop component, with 5 more 11 O's. Going through the next super duo tip. Okay, so this is kind of, we'll continue this, that's how you make the second row and then final row. So we'll just continue that all the way through the length of the necklace. I'm on the last step of the last component of the second and final row, so I'm just going to show you how to finish off the necklace. So I have 5 11 O's. I'm going to go through the super duo to finish the final component. Then I'm going to put on 2 more 11 O's. And I'm going to go up through these 3 11 O's. I'm going to go through the 6 or 8 seed bead. I'm going to go down this 11 O and through the top of the super duo. Now I can tie a knot with the end I started with. And snip the ends. can just feed the jump ring through that large seed bead, include the clasp on there, and close it. And on the other side, I just put the jump ring on for the clasp to go through. Open the jump ring, feed it through the large seed bead, and close it. And now the finished necklace has a clasp.